Alright, so today we're going to be breaking down Luke Alexander's $200,000 per month sales funnel. I'm not going to try to sound smart here by using any kind of fancy words or anything like that. I'm just going to give you the exact value you came to this video for, which is to know exactly how he gets traffic, nurtures that traffic, and then converts that traffic into paying customers. And honestly, today I have an absolutely sauced out funnel for you guys, and literally every single part of this guy's funnel has been broken down into the nitty gritty. There's a lot of sauce that I literally just slapped into the single Miro board, and I could probably sell this for up to $10,000 just giving away the Miro board. But anyways, I don't want to waste your time, so let's just get straight into the funnel breakdown. So first of all, we're going to break down the TikTok at 25,000 followers, business, full vids on YouTube. And now this is actually his main TikTok, but as you can see on the on the TikTok, he is getting consistent 2 to 3k videos. As you can see, that's very, very normal for TikTok. And then every once in a while, one of his videos will absolutely explode at 130k or 400k, and these are especially the lifestyle videos. The reason is because obviously lifestyle is very appealing to everybody, but the thing is the leads from lifestyle videos aren't very good, so I personally don't recommend a lot of people do them too much, because you don't want to grow a shitty audience that will never buy anything you sell, because at that point you stop being a business owner and just started being a content creator. So although these videos get very, very high views, they're not very valuable, especially on the TikTok, because TikTok audiences are just generally not very valuable, but they're really, really good for getting cold traffic into the funnel, even if that cold traffic is not very high quality. As you can see on the TikTok, he's mainly using lifestyle content to grow, and then every once in a while there'll be a motivational video as well, for example right here. And then he'll also have a few talking head videos, and he's started doing these way more recently, and I really, really like the way he's doing this. As you can see, literally one of his talking head videos got 130,000 views on the TikTok, which is very, very, very good for a talking head video, literally in the top percentile. Obviously, again, going back to the fact that the leads aren't very high quality, but still, if you dig for gold deep enough, you'll eventually find it, and that's the same thing that's happening here. If there's a flood of low quality leads, there might be a few diamonds in the rough that are actually really, really high quality, just watching your content along with all of these other stampede of low quality leads. So that's why TikTok is mainly used for the top of funnel to get new people into the funnel. And then after that, we're going to start nurturing and qualifying them, because you can't nurture people who aren't resonating with your personal brand. That's why he's going to go ahead and funnel you into his main Instagram. Now, this is his main Instagram account, and he does not have any other Instagram accounts. On the YouTube, he's actually using a dual account strategy, which I will get into in a little bit. But anyways, on the Instagram, he has 122,000 followers, building kendo.ai and AI Insiders. So his info program is AI Insiders, and kendo.ai is actually his AI startup. And then again, Mr. Luke Alex. Now, this is his other account on the Instagram. And on the secondary account, I'm assuming his goal is just to make another version of the TikTok, but on the Instagram. And the way you would basically do this is to start posting comedy content, widely liked content that is loosely related to your niche, barely related to your niche at all, but just general comedy content, lifestyle content, and all that jazz to go absolutely viral and get a ton of cold traffic on that account. It's kind of like Iman Gaji's unscripted account. If you haven't seen that funnel breakdown video, you can go ahead and check it out above my head somewhere over here. But basically what Iman's doing in that funnel is that he has two accounts, which are his unscripted, and then his main account, and then his business account. So on the unscripted account, he actually posts only lifestyle content, and lifestyle content is really, really good for getting more views. And that's why his unscripted account is at about 330k, which is a really, really large amount of followers. Obviously, it's not that much for Iman, but it's literally just recently started, like a few months ago. And so that's what he's trying to do with the other secondary account. I'm not going to break it down in this funnel right now because it's very, very small and it's literally just started. So I'm not going to add it into the funnel. And so on the main account, the content style is very, very basic. Every 2 lifestyle videos, he'll make a value pack video. And he's mainly doing these talking head videos on this Instagram account, as you can see. And you can see that the average views on Instagram are way, way higher than on TikTok. The reason is because Instagram is just that kind of platform. It's not a platform designed for virality. Obviously, it kind of is. It'll get 1 million, 2 million views. You cannot breach that 10, 20, 30 million view mark on average on Instagram. It's way harder to do it on Instagram than on TikTok. But the thing is, on Instagram, there's way higher quality leads. And secondly, there's also just way more of your ICP usually on Instagram, and they're way easier to actually target. And the reason they're so easy to target is because Instagram pushes your content always out to your existing following first. So your existing following always gets to see your content, which means that they always get nurtured further and further and further, so that they're almost ready to buy after they watch maybe 10, 20 pieces of your content. And on TikTok, every once in a blue moon, when you get a viral video, that's the only time they're going to push it out to your main following. That's why TikTok is so bad for nurturing. It just pushes all of your videos out to a cold audience and barely reaches your following at all. So if you're a coach or a consultant that has an existing audience on TikTok, make sure to try to transition from TikTok into Instagram for your info business, because you will see a skyrocket in sales. Even if you have half the number of followers on your Instagram than you have on your TikTok, that is still going to result in maybe 2 or 3 times more revenue or more money in your pocket, because that's just how much better Instagram is. But that is only if you run it right. At this point, all the other videos are either talking head videos like this one, or they're these presentation over edited type of videos like this one right here with Lovable and Cursor. He also sometimes has these AI challenges where he's like, which AI is better for X task, and then he'll basically make a whole video going into detail about that. But that's the basic gist of what he's actually doing. And you may have heard me saying the word nurturing quite a few times before. And what nurturing basically means is just making your audience see your face as much as physically possible. And the absolute GOAT of nurturing, and every single social platform, without a shadow of a doubt, the best platform for nurturing on the internet right now is the YouTube. And that's where Luke is really, really killing it. As you can see, he has 1.83 thousand subscribers. And you may be like, okay, 133 followers and 1.8 thousand subscribers. He might be making no money off of this YouTube. He's literally probably making 5% of his money off of this YouTube. From my estimates, he's probably making upwards of 60% of his income purely off of YouTube. That's how much more powerful the YouTube is than his Instagram. Instagram is just to get traffic. If he did not have this YouTube, he would be losing out on possibly even half of the money that he's making from his audience right now. Obviously, there's a lot of huge creators like Shelby Sapp and Samuel Millsap that are running Instagram only funnels. And if you haven't seen my videos on both of those guys, you can go and check it out up here as well. And these guys are really killing it with just Instagram funnels, but even they have actually started recently switching to YouTube because they know how powerful it is. Like you literally see, Sam is now consistently making YouTube videos, and so is Shelby, and she's planning to do it as well. Anyways, in the bio, he says documenting building a 9-figure AI startup, kendo.ai, and sharing cutting-edge AI tips and tricks. As you can see, the @ is Luke Alexander AI, and this is because this is not his main Instagram account, but this is the most important Instagram account for his actual mentorship, because this is where he has his YouTube VSL funnel, which is the same exact funnel, yes, the same exact funnel that Iman Gaji had ran before that made him $10 million off of one VSL on YouTube. As you can see, all the videos are just really raw and authentic Miro board presentation videos, which is exactly what's working in this day and age. So you can really tell that Luke knows what he's doing. These are getting pretty high views at like 7K views, 2K views. A few of those videos will obviously flop, maybe 400, maybe 700, but still those videos, consistently posting them, every once in a while you'll get a really, really popular video. And these videos are pretty long. I'd obviously love for him to make them a bit longer. They're about 10 to 20 minutes long. For example, this one is the longest video that I could find here, and it's about 20 minutes long, but this is still better than nothing. And this all comes down to something I like to call the 7-11-4 rule. And the 7-11-4 rule basically states that a prospect needs to watch 7 hours of your content across 11 different touch points across 4 different locations. 7 hours of your content is pretty self-explanatory, just 7 hours of consuming whatever form of content that you have and are putting out to the world. That could be Reels, Instagram Reels, that could be TikToks, that could be YouTube, that could be YouTube Shorts, literally all of that, X, Twitter, that all counts in different hours of consuming content. But the reason YouTube is so good is because it's pretty self-explanatory that you can get somebody to watch a 20-minute video on AI way better than getting them to watch 21 of your Instagram Reels every single day. It's way easier to get them to watch one YouTube video of yours that is 21 minutes long for like a week straight every single day, instead of getting them to watch 21 Instagram Reels of yours every single day. Because if they went at that pace, they'd be done with your Instagram literally in like 2 seconds. That's how fast that would go. So it's literally not really possible. It's not really viable to get to that point. And that's why the 7 hours of content is so easily fulfilled through the YouTube, because all you need to really do is get them to watch 3 times 7 YouTube videos, which literally just is 21 YouTube videos. And it sounds like a lot, but that's way, way easier than getting them to watch 21 Reels every single day. As you can see, he has about 12 videos. He's very recently started, as you can see. Literally, he's posting about every single week or so, and he is getting quite a bit of traction, obviously in part due to his Instagram fame and all that jazz. But still, he's getting a ton of traffic and conversions. As you can see, Luke only has 12 videos, so he can't really fulfill that 7 hours parameter. But over like a few weeks, he's going to be able to post enough videos to fulfill that. And that point is where his YouTube is really going to start making him bank. The 11 different touch points just basically means 11 different points at which they see your content. So that could be YouTube videos, separate YouTube videos. That could be separate Instagram Reels. And that's really, really where Instagram Reels and TikTok shine, because you can get a ton of touch points like just from these reels and TikToks. And that kind of offsets the need to have 7 hours of content consumed, because if you have more touch points, that makes them feel like they consume more of your content and feel more familiar with you. But at the same time, it cannot completely negate the fact that YouTube is that useful to get them to consume as much content of yours as physically possible through all of these long form videos. And that's mainly why you would use Instagram Reels or TikToks, and that's mainly why they're so successful, because of this touch points parameter. And then lastly, for different locations is just having different locations for people to consume your content. That could be one YouTube channel, that could be another YouTube channel, that could be your Instagram, that could be your TikTok, that could be your X, that could be your LinkedIn, that could be literally every single social media. And all three of these parameters put together is what makes an actually killer offer. Anyways, I still have not actually explained what he posts on the main YouTube. I told you that he does raw and authentic Miro board videos, but he also added in these podcast style videos, which are really, really good. I would love if he could make them longer though. He also does these ultimate NA10 beginner guides, which are really, really good for him. Obviously this recent one flopped, but the other ones were getting 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 views. So people really, really, really wanted to see these videos. And so these videos are really, really good. Again, he also make a ton of mini courses, the only AI prompting you need, how to actually make $100,000 a month with AI, all that jazz, general stuff. You can obviously adapt this for your niche. You don't need to copy exactly what the video ideas are, but in that same exact style and with these raw and authentic Miro board videos, that is what's working in the info space right now. And speaking of what's working on YouTube, he actually has another account that is doing really, really well at about 43,000 subscribers. Videos about the journey from small town kid on welfare to making millions of dollars online. As you can see, this channel actually has reposts of his other channel's videos as well. This video was reposted. This video was also reposted. It just has another type of packaging on top of it. And he also makes these lifestyle type of videos, super raw and authentic, talking to camera type of videos that really, really pop off today. Again, he's keeping that same exact style. And I really like this specific whiteboard type of video that he did right here. And this is literally the best type of video you can make in this day and age, specifically for the info space. As you can see, it's literally just him in front of a glass whiteboard, just explaining how he closed $10 million and how he handles the sales objections, which in today's day and age, you'll see everybody and their mom on Miro. Obviously, as you can see, I'm even on Miro, because obviously Miro does work. But the thing is, furthermore, separating yourself from the rest of the market is also an extremely important skill, and that's what Luke is trying to do right here. He's trying to separate himself. He's trying to get into the real world. He's trying to break the fourth wall. Because if you're on a, for example, Miro board presentation video, it more feels like kind of a Zoom call, which is still super raw and authentic, but it's not as raw and authentic as you can go. When you go to this point where you're actually presenting a whiteboard, you literally cannot go more raw and authentic unless you literally go to their house and start presenting, which I don't think is sustainable for 2.6 thousand people for obvious reasons. The main reason that this channel is different from the other channel, the Luke Alexander AI channel, is actually because he has these copywriting videos. He's not trying to teach just AI. He's actually also teaching how to do copywriting, for example, with AI, without AI, generally just explaining what business model he's doing, how to do copywriting, how to get into copywriting, how to start it, and how to be successful within copywriting. But that's basically the gist of what he's doing on the secondary channel. And the secondary channel is acting more of a bridge in between the two channels. So for example, if somebody's more interested in copywriting, they'll go to this channel, this one right here. And if they're more interested in AI and specifically how they can use AI for their own general business, that's where they go to this channel. And because his mentorship is mainly on AI, this is the main channel he's trying to push and the main channel he's trying to get people to convert through. And the way he's actually doing these conversions is very, very interesting. And buckle up, because this is about to be the sauciest part of the video. Okay, so the way he does this is actually really, really different. And it's just like what Iman used to do back in the day with SMMA. And that's how it got so powerful. And so as you can see, he has every single YouTube video. Underneath it, he has a link to a video sales letter. A video sales letter is literally a video designed to sell your audience, but packaged in a way where it feels like you're giving away genuine value. So people are thanking you for selling them on your topic. Iman Gaji actually pioneered this topic, and if you want to see the funnel breakdown I made on him, you can check that out up here as well again. And how to make money with AI in 2025 is the video's name. How to actually make money with AI in 2025. In every single video, like every single description of every single video on his channel, he will link this specific video right here. Once you click on the link, you'll see this specific video right here. And this video is not very long, at about 20 to 30 minutes, but it's still plenty long for a video sales letter. In the description of this video, there's only a singular link, the Calendly link right here. It's a Calendly link right here. And you may be thinking, why the hell has he not linked to a landing page? That's because when you have the video sales letter on YouTube, YouTube becomes your landing page. They watch all of your normal videos. Every once in a while, they'll check the description, they'll check the comments maybe, and they'll scroll past that link to your separate video, that video sales letter. They'll be intrigued. They'll be like, why the hell is he linking this in every single video? They'll check it out and get a ton of value from it, and make sure that if you're doing this in your own coaching business, you add a ton of value. Because if you don't add value, nobody is going to watch your video, because nobody cares unless you give them value, unless you give them the dream outcome. And here, the main tenets of this type of video that I have basically engineered is that you need to, first of all, always be raw and authentic. Not too raw and authentic. You can obviously have editing, but raw and authentic works best with micro presentation videos like these. Secondly, is that you do not want to send them to a separate landing page with another VSL, because instantly if you send them to another VSL, they're going to click off it, because that's too much friction. You just made them watch like 6 videos in a row. Why the hell are you sending them to a VSL where there's more friction? You've qualified them plenty at this point. They've watched through a 30-minute video. Obviously, they're plenty qualified for this, and they know that the investment is going to be really, really high. Next, you're actually going to sell them on the business model. A lot of people mess this up and treat this like a direct response VSL simply. This is a direct response VSL, but this is way, way more complicated than that. You need to be explaining how the business model works when you're selling it to them, and you need to be explaining how you are going to get them those results for them, and you need to make them believe you can get those results. And you need to make them believe that they can get those results. They have the ability to get those results, because that's the biggest lever that a lot of people don't pull on their VSLs. You need to make your audience believe that they can do it. Because if they believe that they can do it, and you come in and are like, you can only do it with me, then they're going to automatically assume, with that belief shift that they have, they're going to have a massive belief shift from I can't do this to I can do this only with Luke, which is where you finally close the sale. You've closed the sale before the damn sales call at that point. That's how powerful this is. And obviously after this, they're going to click the link in the description. They're already qualified, and thus they're going to go into the screening call. Now, obviously, he's not going to just let them on to the main closers, because he just cannot hire that many closers. It's going to be way too many calls for him to handle. So he has first a screening call, which is actually a 30-minute call. And the reason he's also named this the screening call and very outwardly named it that is because he's trying to be like, you're chasing me. I'm not chasing you. You're chasing me. And obviously, this may be a small thing. To a lot of people, they may think it's a small thing. But this actually does have an effect, because if you look like a brand that is chasing after a client, then instantly all of your brand reputation and respect was gone. Imagine if Coca-Cola started running after you, trying to sell you their bottles on the street. Everybody would be put off from buying Coca-Cola in the future. That's just not how you're supposed to conduct business. And that's the same with info. You don't want to chase them. You want to make your prospect chase you. Thus, he's made this the screening call. A setter is going to go ahead and have a call with them. He's only allowing them to book 4 days in advance. Perfect amount. Nobody should be allowed to book any further than this unless you really have to. You have a high number of calls and you can't handle that many calls every single day. And after this, I'm assuming he has a 2-call close. So he has a screening call. After that, he has another Calendly page that he's going to send you to on the main call, where you can book in another slot with an actual closer where you can finally be closed. And then at that point, you're going to be added into the WAP community and all that jazz. And all that onboarding is obviously in the back end. And if you want to know how the hell that back end actually works, you can go ahead and DM me on Instagram. I can basically hop on a call with you. We can go ahead and talk about it completely. Or you can even click the link down below to check out my landing page and maybe watch my VSL while you're at it. Anyways, that was Luke Alexander's $200,000 per month sales funnel, broken down into the nitty gritty. Hope you got a ton of value from that video. If you have any ideas for any other funnel breakdown videos you want me to make, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I read literally all of my comments, and your video idea might be the next one I actually make. And if you have any suggestions for me to improve the content or anything like that, you can go ahead and leave those in the comments as well. I'll literally look through all of your comments, so your suggestions will be heeded. Go ahead and DM me on Instagram if you guys have any questions about this or anything like that. My Instagram link is down below. And if you're a coach, consultant, or an agency owner with an established following who wants to actually work with me to scale your agency, scale your coaching business, scale your info offer, and actually get you to make some actual money from your existing audience instead of just throwing spaghetti at a wall and hope it sticks, my Instagram is linked right down below this video in the description. So go ahead and DM me right on there. It's not going to be some kind of random setter that you're going to be talking to. It's going to be me personally. I'm going to be on there with you, talking to you one-on-one. And if you don't want to do any of that and you just want to watch another one of my videos, go ahead and check this one out right here, because YouTube thinks that you'll like it. And if you want to watch the whole funnel breakdowns playlist, you can go ahead and check it out right down here by clicking this button right here. And if you want to go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, which I would appreciate, go ahead and click right here. Anyways, hoping to see you in this next video. Goodbye.